Ladies and gentlemen, as we promised, we are going to follow minute by minute the activities of the World Government Summit 2023 taking place in the United Arab Emirates. But let's have a quick look at the event. The event is being held this year under the theme of Shaping Future Governments. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived yesterday in the United Arab Emirates, and he was received by his brother Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the United Arab Emirates, as Egypt is the guest of honor of this edition. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is going to address the gathering, speaking about the most important steps taken by Egypt in our way to achieve sustainable development, our experience regarding the economic development of Egypt, and particularly amid the challenges that are really facing the whole world. As I said, the World Government Summit 2023 will be held under the theme of shaping future governments, and it's going to bring together thought leaders, global experts, decision makers from around the globe. Also, the themes or the agenda is going to focus on shaping better future for humanity at large, and will highlight 6 main themes. Well, first, accelerating development and governance, empowering governments to establish government models, creative policies and technologies through accelerating government services and innovation in all domains. Second, future societies and healthcare. This is the second theme. The impact of globalization on virtual societies and the importance of addressing issues of ethical design that are becoming increasingly important. The state of global healthcare systems, including mental well-being, while further analyzing its future developments, will be also addressed under this theme. The third theme is exploring the frontiers, pushing the boundaries of knowledge through science and technology to resolve prominent challenges and grasp opportunities on the horizon of next decade. Fourth, governing economic resilience and connectivity, strengthening and implementing economic frameworks and policies to accelerate connectivity and economic recovery need to be urgently addressed. Fifth, global city design and sustainability. Accelerating sustainability and securing resources for the rapid urbanizing world is of dire importance through urban psychology, smart infrastructure, seamless transportation systems, sustainable energy and production coupled with citizens' engagement. Governments can create better sustainable cities. Last but not least, prioritizing learning and work. Prioritizing learning and work will be vital in achieving and improving generational changes. Governments need to adapt to these rapid changes within workforces and educational sectors to establish new mindsets, work models, national developments, and upskills. Well, first, the attendees of this edition observed a moment of silence for victims and also the survivors of the earthquake that devastated big parts of Turkey and Syria, and it was of 7.8 magnitude, taking place last Monday. Well, also President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held summit talks yesterday with his UAE counterpart, with the deeply rooted ties that are binding the two nations. They discussed ways of boosting them in all domains. President Sisi is heading a high-ranking delegation of top executive ministers. Topping the list, Minister of Planning, Dr. Hala Saeed, Minister of Environment, Dr. Yasmin Fuad, Minister of International Cooperation, Dr. Rania Al-Mashat, and all the ministers are going to participate in the sessions which are going to take place throughout the 3 days of the important event, which starts today and is going to continue until the 15th of February. And to shed more light on the important event, we are very much delighted to have with us Dr. Amr Saleh, Professor of Economics. A very good morning to you, Professor Saleh.
Very good morning to you, and thank you very much for having me with you.
Well, the World Government Summit, an important gathering, gathering world leaders, gathering businessmen, and gathering top executives from all over the world. And President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi arrived in the UAE to participate as Egypt is the guest of honor in this edition. First, before going into more details, how do you see the choice of Egypt as the guest of honor and the keenness of the Egyptian political leadership to present our experience in and our way to achieve economic or sustainable economic development, to be accurate?
Well, as you know, the relation, not only the economic relation, but the overall relation between Egypt and the UAE have developed significantly over the last 50 years. We need to talk about the words that have been said by Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan, peace upon his soul, when he have told to his son, what we call Ayal Zayed, or the sons of Zayed, I need to take care of Egypt. These were the last words of Sheikh Zayed about Egypt before he died. So Egypt is really in the heart of the UAE. It's in the heart of the people of the UAE. And if you come to Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Sharjah, and if you visit this lovely country, you'll find that the people of the UAE are really amazed, and there is a big love. There is a love story, as I would love to say. There is a love story between Egypt and the UAE. The relations, as I said, the economic relation and the political relation have developed significantly over the last 50 years. A significant cooperation. And you might agree that the visits that have been done by the President Fattah el-Sisi and his brother Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed to Egypt and to Abu Dhabi are among the highest rates of visits between two chief of states in the Arab world. I think we've seen President Fattah el-Sisi and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed together over 26 or 27 times, and we all remember the visit of the President Fattah el-Sisi to Dubai and hanging out with his brother Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed in his car in Dubai, visiting Dubai, and then going to Abu Dhabi. And this famous scene where we've seen the President Fattah el-Sisi and his brother Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed in a restaurant in Abu Dhabi. And we've seen several meetings between the two leaders, relations that have been very strong, strong relation between two brothers. And maybe you remember what the President Fattah el-Sisi have said 5 years ago when he was talking about the security of the Gulf region, and especially the security of the UAE, when he said that the UAE is 2 blocks from Egypt, and Egypt will be there instantly if the UAE is attacked or facing any danger.
Yes, of course, the national security of the Arab nation is part and parcel of our national security. We are in the heart of the Arab nation. And if you please, sir, I'd like to focus more on the themes or the agenda of this edition of the World Government Summit 2023. And the first theme, it's accelerating development and governance, creative policies, technologies, accelerating government service innovation to accommodate global societies. Here, I think thinking out of the box is a key word. Innovation is a key word. And when it comes to this, then empowering the youth is a very important pillar to achieve this goal. If you want to elaborate on that.
Well, you know, let me talk about the UAE first of all, and the progress that the UAE have done. Dubai and the UAE, Abu Dhabi, all the 7 Emirates is really a success story. We are witnessing one of the most important economic growth agenda in this summit. This is one of the most important, if not the most important summit that is talking about the role of the government and how can we bring government to act more efficiently. Dubai is really an amazing story. Abu Dhabi, the same. If you come and visit this country, and I'm talking to you from Dubai, from Abu Dhabi, from Sharjah, you've seen the progress that this country have realized in less than 40 years. It's amazing how this country have not realized only economic growth and not only economic development, but as you have said, depending on openness, efficiency, empowering the youth, investing on people. This is a marvelous, the UAE is a marvelous example where government have used its resources to invest on people and to invest on their capabilities. And now the UAE is gaining and witnessing the success of this policy that have been installed by Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Khalifa, and then Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed have announced that it's about time that not to depend on any exports, oil exports. We need to depend on diversification. And this slogan have been translated into, as you have said, into investing on economic efficiency, on sustainability, and on investing on people, and especially on the youth. I'm talking about youth. We know that, and it's really amazing. And also talking about the agenda of the summit as a government. It's really amazing when you see ministers in the UAE cabinet that did not exceed the 30 years. Ministers that have 28 years, 27, 29. This is really amazing. This is a marvelous example where leaders and ministers that are leading a country, ministers that are leading a country, the future of the country, have only 25, 26, 27 years. This is an example of investing on youth, and this is an example of the agility of the government, government agility. And I listened to this term, this marvelous term in the UAE. The UAE is working on making the government more efficient, more agile, more developed, and acting rapidly and instantly to cover the demand of the population. And the result now is that at the UAE, you have an Arab country that is among the most 5 competitive countries in the world. And this is an amazing success story. You have a country that is witnessing a rate of growth of 3, 4, 5%. You have a country that is now a dream for lots of people, not only on the Arab world, but all over the world. I know people in Canada, in the United States, in Europe, that dream to live. If you open the WhatsApp and you open the social media.
And this summit, sir, it's a platform to gather more than 20 heads of state and governments, more than 250 ministers, 100,000 government officials, meaning that this event is a platform to exchange ideas and to solve global crises, because now the world is a small village, and when something is happening like for example, COVID-19, or now the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, it had its impact on the whole world. The global crises are affecting all, whether developed or developing countries. And because of this, if you permit me to continue with the themes of this edition of the Global Government Summit, it's strengthening and implementing economic frameworks and policies to accelerate connectivity and economic recovery, and to what extent this is really need needed to be addressed. Mitigating consequences of severe man-made crises, governments can achieve economic resilience, prosperity, and transparency. How do you see this theme, sir, and what are the most important steps in your vision to implement this on the ground?
Well, let me remind ourselves of what was said today, actually, or yesterday, by Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid, the Crown Prince of Dubai, and he said yesterday, and this is in the newspaper today, that the youth are the most important investment in our country, and this is on the agenda. By the way, that's what he said. He said that this is on the agenda of this year's edition. Coming back to your question, yes, the agenda is really diversified. There's a part on the government and COVID-19. There's a part about how to make decisions, how to make efficient decisions. There's a session on education and how education could be a catalyst for change. There's also a part on investing on youth, culture, e-commerce, applications, all the access and all the policies that would make the government more responsive and more responsible. I'm not going to say responsible, but more responsive of all the crises that could happen. And as I have said, the UAE is an amazing economic story where a country could overcome the crisis. Today, it has been said that the UAE have overcome most of the economic crisis in the world in the last 25 years. During the COVID, or even after the Russian, or during even the Russian-Ukrainian war, we've seen a high rate of inflation all over the world, especially in the U.S. and Europe. I can tell you that in the year the inflation rate didn't exceed 3%, while in the United States and Europe the inflation rates have exceeded 10%. So this gives you an indication of the economic stability and the sustainability
And
of the
here
investment.
comes the importance of such events, sir, to discuss all these issues and to exchange ideas and expertise, because as I said, now the world is a small village and we are all suffering from the same crises, but with different perspectives or with different ratios. Well, we were joined by Dr. Amr Saleh, Professor of Economics. Thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. This is a reminder. We are going to follow minute by minute the activities of the World Government Summit 2023 with the participation of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as Egypt is the guest of honor of this edition taking place in the United Arab Emirates. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.
After an occasional sneak peek